Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 326. So today's all about your business questions, but the one that I want to start with, which is fascinating to me, a little bit weird, a little bit crazy, a little bit I don't understand it, is from our friend Hirshkesh Mendy. Yo, I butcher like every foreign name. I'm sorry, but the question I do want to ask, he says, business question. What do you think about NFTs? NFTs stand for no effing thanks. I'm kidding. They actually stand for non-fungible tokens. So there's been just this crazy, insane amount of stuff going on about NFTs, right? And when it first came out, so I'm the guy that didn't understand crypto at all. I watched a documentary called Betting on Bitcoin or something like that a while ago. It had like a little pig with like what is the documentary? It was actually quite in line, and this is before it like really exploded. It is Betting on Bitcoin. Yeah, it's called Betting on Bitcoin. And it's a great documentary that kind of it helps you understand the whole like blockchain thing a little bit better. It's all about the blockchain, right? So that's one thing. Crypto, I am not super educated on. I'm even less educated though on NFTs. NFTs, from what I understand and have watched from Gary Vee, who I think did some, I thought Gary Vee's whole thing with NFTs were, I don't know that that didn't feel good when he was trying to get you to buy all of these NFTs that he was creating. Anyway, NFTs essentially are a non-fungible token built around this whole concept of the blockchain. And essentially, it's like digital art, right? There's one of a kind, and if you want it, you can own it, you can pay for it, right? Nobody else can have an original. But it doesn't, and when I think about it, I really think about it like art, right? You can buy an original piece of art. Other people, though, can make copies of it, right? And you can have it, but you have the original. And so when I first started thinking about and hearing about NFTs, I'm like, dude, this is insane. But then I started thinking about some of the artwork that I bought. I love art that I have hanging in my house. And I'm like, well, I spent, $9,000 for a painting a few times. I bought some different, like, I'm really into art though. I love art. I feel like art is one of those things. It's amazing. And every time I look at it, it's kind of like watches. The way that I think about art, in terms of if there's something that you see that you love, like you love it, right? And every single time you look at it, you think, wow, that's awesome. Or wow, I'm really enjoying that, right? What's it worth? That's the question. And so I think about it like watches, right? I get to wear this watch even though it was expensive every day and I love it. I'm gonna have it for my entire life if I want it. Same thing with art. And so, I love art. I love art, right? Original art for me is like amazing because it's one of a kind. And so when I really kind of like back out of it and think about NFTs from that perspective, if it's something that you love and it's something that you can enjoy and you own it, and you feel good about it, that's great. In terms of selling it as an investment or buying art or NFTs as an investment, I have no idea. Once again, I don't buy art as investments, right? It's to be enjoyed. For me, it's about the enjoyment of the item that I'm actually buying. And I don't know that I could ever resell some of the art that I've bought for what I paid for it. But I don't look at things like that. Now, NFTs, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of shady shit going on though when it comes to it. I feel like there's a lot of people spending a lot of money on things like, but once again, it's what do you value? The Gary Vee thing though, like I love Gary Vee, right? I think he's amazing. But that whole thing when he was like doing the V Friends and really pumping up NFTs and you should buy them, and building like a lot of hype around them, I felt like it was a little bit like, I didn't love that. I didn't love that at all. I still don't love that. But there are a lot of people making a lot of money on NFTs right now. I don't understand essentially how you create one or how you make it an NFT, but I don't understand the blockchain all that much. So in terms of what's my opinion of NFTs, I don't own any and I don't plan on owning any. I'm fine with just enjoying the content Because that's the thing, like with NFTs, like it's still out there. It's still you're able to enjoy it or see it or whatever, but you own the original, right? The original tweet, the original, like whatever, digital thing, video, whatever. You've got the original, but everybody else can still enjoy it. It's out there. So, and you're not making money off of that as a licensing play or a royalty off of it. So once again, I don't understand it, to be honest. I've looked into it. I've tried to understand it, but I still don't understand what the hype is. But there is a ton of hype over NFTs. I just feel like it's kind of crazy. But people would look at some of the art that I bought and thought, yo, that's ugly as hell. You paid what, right? And so, same sort of thing, I just don't understand it. But what is your opinion? That's what I want to know. Down below, I want to know, like, NFTs, total scam, total whatever, or is there value? Do you understand it? Can you educate myself along with the other people watching this business vlog? For me, it's not in my wheelhouse of comfort or interest. I'm just not interested in it. And so therefore, there's no NFTs in my portfolio. Won't be any NFTs anytime soon, but you may have a different idea. I know that there are people probably making money on it. I know that people are making money. People that are creating NFTs or selling them are making money from people that are buying them, but maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just old and ignorant. Definitely ignorant, definitely old. But gentlemen, down below, if you understand NFTs and want to give us the cliff notes of why somebody would want to buy it or own the original, let us know. Also, if you've got a business question, down below, start with business question and ask it. Now what I'd like to do is actually get to more of your amazing business questions from last week. I just did I said, are NFT, and it fills in like bad investments, and there's apparently it guzzles energy because most people are buying it with Ethereum. Like, dude, this is so outside of my wheelhouse of comprehension. And God, when I read this stuff, I'm just like, man, I am a dinosaur. But I want to get to some of your business questions because they are amazing. So Adarsh Doobie 020, good to see you, brother, says, hey, Aaron, what should an entrepreneur do when his marketing strategy for a product goes wrong? How does one remarket that product? What are the challenges faced in remarketing, and especially who to trust with future strategies? Agencies, marketing employees, or trial by error? This is a great question. And one that I'm facing right now is if you guys watched last week's vlog where I talked about enemy, discontinuing enemy, it's all about a marketing strategy. And Tiege Hanley, let's tie it back into Tiege Hanley, Pete Major, like any business, you try things, right? In terms of a marketing strategy, you've got an idea, right? You've got something that you think may work, and you get it out there, you try it, and you look at the data. What does it tell you? Is it working? Is it converting? Is it converting but too high? Is it too expensive? It's always comes back to marketing and being able to figure out that conversion mechanism. In terms of how to relaunch a marketing strategy or campaign, you just do it. But you don't wait too long. That's one of the things that a lot of people, they get into it and they're like, oh, I love this angle. I love this strategy. I love this ad. I love this creative. I love whatever it is. And you put it out there. Perfect example for Tiege Hanley was the I love you video. Awesome, right? I loved it. The Erica oh, I love you too. And what the, right? It was great. A lot of people watched it. It didn't convert to the degree at which we needed to convert it. And so are we going to continue to dump money at it? Well, here's the thing. With our new strategy, we are starting at Tiege Hanley to lean in a little bit more to discounting again, because we saw a direct impact in terms of discounting and our sales growth. We also did a huge analysis of what is the LTV, lifetime value of a customer that comes in on discount versus a non-discounted person. Is it super big? Is the difference amazing? And what we found is that it was really, really minimal in terms of the difference. And so if we can convert more people with a discount, fill up the funnel bigger and just jam a bunch of people into the funnel long term, it's much more advantageous of us to do that. The other thing with discounting is that you can now possibly convert people at a lower CPA, but you got to figure out what the delta is, because there is a cost associated with discounting. If you're saying normally I'm paying, say, okay, simple math. If you're paying $20 to convert somebody, right, on a non-discount, and you're making $20 on that product. So you're paying $20 to convert somebody, you're making $20, right? Well, now if you discount, if it still costs you $20, but you're discounting it by $5, now that acquisition cost just became $25. So it actually got more expensive, and that's bad, right? But let's change the math a little bit. It doesn't make sense if it's costing you now $25 and you're not filling the funnel up more or acquiring more customers as a result of that. But what happens if now you're spending, say same $20, $25, you're discounting $5, but what if you now are doubling the amount of acquisitions you're doing? Now, does it make sense? Well, depends on how long those customers stay and what the value and the lifetime value is and how soon you'll be able to recoup that loss. But here's another scenario. What if you give an offer to an influencer that normally doesn't convert really well, and it costs typically on average like $20 for a conversion? Well, now because he's got a better offer, he can convert really well, and it actually drops your CPA to $10. And you get more people. Like it's all about squeezing and figuring out and looking at the numbers. So in terms of a marketing strategy, you've just got to really dial it in and figure out what's working, what's not working. Back to the Erica video, right? The I love you video. If we figured out that, okay, the first like half of that video, people are really engaging and watching, but then quickly when I start talking and we start showing the products, people drop off. What if we now had Erica saying, hey guys, there's a 50% off offer, 20% off offer if you hit that link to look amazing? What if it was a different person talking to you as opposed to me doing the voiceover and just showing the B-roll? Or what if we threw an offer at really quickly and said, hey, click that link, use this code. Like, there's so many different aspects to this. So just because you try something and initially it doesn't look like it works, what is the way that you can actually tweak it, change it, and test it to see if it works better? Or maybe a different landing page. If you're coming to a landing page and there's no offer, maybe you have a landing page that's 25% off. What happens? What is the conversion? Now, is it still ineffective or is it more effective? It really boils down to trying and testing a ton of shit. So this next question, I gotta speed this up because I'm talking way too much, is from our friend Chronolarge Sin Zala. He says, hello, sir. My question is how to stop being fearful when standing up for myself. Because whenever I stand up for myself, people try to fight with me in verbal or physical ways. I'm afraid of confrontation and conflict. Well, I don't know, man. Like for me, I was fearful of standing up for myself. I got really bad butterflies every time I do. And it took me just finally being like, no, and getting horribly nervous and everything and realizing, okay, that was kind of awesome. It feels great. And then I did it again, It's about that first time. Stand up for yourself. And if somebody really is trying to like fight with you, like walk away. You're around the wrong people because they shouldn't. Anyway, great question. Thanks for asking it. Next question is from our friend Kevin Parties. He says, love your videos, Alpha. The merchandise came out very nice. Do you know where they got them done? Would love to do the same for my company. I do not know where the Tiege Hanley merchandise came from. But it's not like original. Like they didn't like be like, oh, we want a beanie, and then they created it from scratch. Like it was a company that basically just like embroiders or puts their stuff on or prints on blanks basically. And so look for private label, custom clothing, merchandise, whatever. I do not know. I'm sorry. The next business question comes from our friend Adrian Thompson. He says, have you ever thought about opening a medical spa that's men's specific? I work in the field and some people are incredibly successful. So I know people in the medical spa sort of world, whether or not it's, Botox, fillers, things of that nature. Not necessarily, they don't specialize in men specifically, it's mainly women, but yeah, med spas can do incredibly well. It's not something that I'm interested in getting into unless there was somebody that came to me with a business and was like, hey, I want to open up a med spa. Do you want to be an investor? Do you want to be my silent partner? Whatever. Shows me the numbers. I would definitely consider that, because I do feel there's a huge opportunity and market, not just in the men's space, but in like every space. There's also somebody that I know that opened like a testosterone, clinic, like crazy successful. I'd probably invest in something like that too. I would never personally want to open it though. I don't understand it once again, but it's definitely something I'd be interested in doing, or partnering with somebody possibly in the future. Next question comes from our friend Blake Dillard. He says, if you had $100,000 to put into something or multiple things, what would you do? Looking to be fairly aggressive, but not reckless. So this is a how would I invest type of thing. $100,000, I would promote. I would invest it into my own companies. Things that are working, coming out with new products, coming out with, hiring somebody to help me scale. Like I just hired somebody for Pete and Pedro to help me build my Amazon business. I've changed my Amazon strategy on Pete and Pedro because I've seen the success that Tiege Hanley has had with a new Amazon strategy. For my entire career with Pete and Pedro, I have resisted the urge of going FBA, fulfilled by Amazon and Prime. I've been like, no, I'm selling it. I am fulfilling it. I am going to charge $5 shipping. Everything that I sold up until 2 weeks ago, I was charging $5 for shipping, and I was fulfilling it. Tiege Hanley, I've seen what happens in terms of taking it from here to like, boom, like millions of dollars, right? And so it's obviously a strategy. Now, Tiege Hanley hired an agency or a guy to help, with the A+ content and really kind of making it, because it's not as simple as just like making it FBA, making it FBA, sending to Amazon fulfillment centers like products and just flipping a switch and being rocking and rolling in order to really grow it. Now, for Pete and Pedro, we flipped the switch, we sent all the products, and it was like we're doing 70% more business now. Now my margin shrank, right? Before, my margin was 50% on a product that I was selling on Amazon. Now it's 30%. But it's about volume, right? I'm gonna be selling a lot more. And once I get the agency involved, I think that we're gonna turn it next level. And so, so I would probably use $100,000 for investing in new products. And stuff that I'm already doing. In terms of what would I invest in, what would I buy in terms of stocks or bonds or anything like that, I don't have a good answer to tell you. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you because I'm not going to be responsible. You just need to think through, obviously. And if you have $100,000 that you're ready to invest in, you've obviously figured something out. And so, go there. There's also another business. Actually, there's another business that I'm trying to invest in. I've had a bunch of calls with him, had a bunch of talks. There's a business that I believe in. Like, I know it's great. He's proven that it's great. And now it's a question of how much of the business is he willing to sell me? And so actually, I've rethought that. There is a business that I'll tell you about later if I end up investing in it that is going to be like, I think it is an absolute grand slam home run that I will not have to promote. I don't have to do anything other than invest and offer my strategic input and marketing ideas. But this guy is super smart, and it's just that it is a home run. And I'm waiting for him. I had a call with him, I believe it was on Saturday. And I said, hey, Jordan, I really love, we've had a bunch of talks. And I'm like, look, here's the deal. I'm just going to lay it out there. I want to invest. I want to be a part of your story. Like, what, if you're interested in having me be your partner? He doesn't have any partners right now. I have money. I also have some connections to a lot of different things. And I feel like I would be a great partner. And I want to be along for the ride because I believe he's going to grow this thing. He's already done from like $0 to like $800,000 in 12 months. And it's a subscription. It's going next level. It is the right market, the right product, and it's the right time. And I know that he's going to grow this thing and then sell it to somebody. And I know who he's going to sell it to. And I just want to be there, man. I just love what he's doing. And so that's how I'd invest $100,000. I'll tell you a little bit more about that company later if he ends up bringing me on as a partner. But that is where I would throw $100,000. No questions asked. Like, I'm ready. I'm sorry. You asked the question, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's actually something that I'm trying to do right now. I can't talk about it unless it happens. Then I'll talk about it a little. But interestingly enough, I can't promote it on my Alpha M YouTube channel. I'll leave it there. Anyway, the next business question comes from our friend, Aiden Lilithal. Who's the worst with names? If you agree that it's me, drop it right now. Thank you. When you have a monthly budget for paid advertising, but want to decrease your budget midway through the month, do you update your fixed cost for the same month, or does it go into the next month's fixed cost? You know, I generally speaking do not adjust mid-month in terms of advertising or marketing costs. I have a plan pretty much for the year. I do get a report monthly to see what the costs are. You know, this is a question that only you can answer. You've got to do what's right for your business. If there's something that's not working, don't keep dumping money at it, right? Marketing, like I've said multiple times, is a huge black hole potentially if you don't understand what's going on. And if you have an agency, they are really great at blowing smoke up your ass. And trying to prove that, oh, look how successful we are, when it's all these other things that they have absolutely no control over. So you've just got to really look at the numbers. But in terms of how to adjust your costs and everything, that's a personal thing. You decide. I generally don't change mid-month. At the beginning of the month, I'll have a call, or during the month, I'll be like, next month, tone it down, bring it back, pull it back. But if it's working, keep it rolling. That is, let me see something. Last business question that I'm going to be able to get to today. And if I didn't get to your business question, guys, down below, start it with business question, just copy and paste, and I'll try to get to it next week. I really appreciate you guys being here. And I know that these vlogs have been getting a little bit longer because I'm trying to give you, actually, I get into it. And I just love answering business questions because I love business. The next business question, the last one, is from Bob Zules. He says, is there a way to purchase a business without any money, i.e. purchasing a veterinarian clinic from an owner and having the seller finance the sale, or any other ways that the sale can go through? Appreciate you, Alpha. So yeah, a lot of people do this. A lot of people buy businesses without having money. And yeah, a lot of it is, seller financed. And so a lot of times though, when it comes to something like this, a lot of people may require some type of like down payment. Like, let me give you $5,000, $10,000, and then I am going to pay you X number of dollars per month moving forward until X whatever total amount has been paid. And so yes, if there's somebody or a business that you want to sell or want to buy, I would talk to them, start a conversation, say, I love your business, have you ever thought about, getting out of it, or would you be interested in possibly, doing some type of structured buyout? In terms of other ways to do it, I don't really know. I'm not sure. If there's somebody though that wants to get out bad enough, they will definitely listen to you. And the cool thing with owner finance, if you miss a payment, they get it back. The downside of that is that by the time they get it back, you may have ruined the business, or the market may have changed. And so I would say just start a conversation. Let them know what you're thinking. Let them know, hey, are you ever, ask the question if they are interested in possibly getting out of it. And if so, how would it work? Maybe they keep working there for a specific amount of time and you pay them a salary plus some. There are a lot of different ways to skin the cat. Where there's a will, there's always a way. Gentlemen, that's where I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And as always, at Tiege Hanley, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. Guys, be safe, and I'll see you next week.